Look, I love MLS more than the next guy, but also I'm not dumb. Okay, I know this league can improve in many ways. So for me, here are 7 things wrong with MLS. So without further ado, let's get to it. Before we get started, of course, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe down below, and while you're down there, let me know what is your favorite league to watch around the world besides MLS. Mine is La Liga. I'm a big Barca guy myself for over 12 years now, so that is my main passion. Let me know yours down below. All right, 7 things wrong with MLS. There's a little bit more than 7, but I had to really narrow it down to the 7 main things that bother me or that I dislike and want to change about MLS. But you guys might have more or less. I don't care. And whatever I say, my opinion, but let me know what your 7 things are down below. Number 1, obviously, okay, let's get out of the way. I'm not even gonna talk about it that much. I've made countless videos. There's a bunch of videos on this out there. Promotion, relegation in MLS. There you go. That's number 1. I would love to see promotion, relegation in MLS someday. I don't think it really needs it right now, but I do think it needs it at some point. Get the fuck out of here, fly. I do think it needs it at some point because it would really just, especially now, more eyes are on MLS. They're kind of with Messi on right now. There's been a promotion relegation on there. People will be like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? NFL fans, baseball fans will be like, yo, your league sucks. You're getting relegated to like the minor leagues. That's crazy. It would be so cool to see regular sports fans in America react to promotion relegation with a league within their own country. Number 2 is another big one. Of course, it's the salary cap. The salary cap, honestly, is one of the most annoying things, most confusing things for outside MLS fans. It makes no sense. So here, I'll break it down to you guys real quick. The salary cap for an MLS team is basically the league has a bunch of money and they divvy it up between all the leagues. So the salary cap is officially the salary budget for each team right now in 2023 is 5.2 million per team. And that is nothing compared to other teams around the world. Even like small teams like Bournemouth in England have a way bigger budget than any MLS team, even the biggest MLS team right now. That's what kind of prevents MLS from buying bigger players and also more rules that I'll get to in a second. But I don't like it. 5.2 million in this market is terrible. How are you going to attract some big name players like Saudi Arabia with that pocket money for most players, big players around the world? It makes no sense. The minimum salary for a player, 85,000. I mean, I'll take that myself. Let's go. I'll sit on the bench for 85K. Let's go. Come on, Philly. The maximum salary you can pay a player is 650K a year. That kind of gets narrowed down or bumped up for allocation money. It's just a bunch of complicated stuff. Allocation money, general allocation money, target allocation money. There's just way too much involved. Why not just increase it? Players will come here, they're being paid more, like Saudi Arabia, and you can compete with some big teams around the world and kind of steal them like the Saudis do. It makes sense. Get rid of this shit. I hate salary cap. Number 3 is the league schedule. Right now, this season, the MLS started in the middle or end of February and goes all the way to the middle or end of October. Now, you guys know, if you guys are fans of other leagues around the world, which I'm sure most of you, if not all of you are, the leagues around there start about like September and go all the way to May. So MLS starts their season right kind of in the middle, in the primetime middle of other big leagues around the world where it's important. Like, there's like could be potential relegation fears and worries around that time. Big critical matches to win, to secure promotion or to secure a title. Of course, big Champions League and Europa League games, big cup competitions around that time. Well, MLS is just getting started, getting their engines revved, they're just about to begin. And just the first game is cool, first 2 games are cool, but then do you really care? Do you honestly really care? There's more important games to watch outside of MLS that actually mean something because there's relegation, there's promotion, there's cup competitions, there's series cup competitions, there's like big things happening around that time. I think it's the worst time. Some people say that the MLS has that schedule because of they don't want to compete with NFL or other sports in America, and that's not true. It's just because I think it's because of the winter fears. But you know what? Hold on. NFL fans go to their teams from September, October, November when it's fucking freezing too, and they'll still be in the stadium. They'll still support their team. They're diehard fans of their team. They're gonna go, of course. They're gonna warm up because that's what you do for NFL games. I mean, come on. I've been to NFL games. I know you freeze your ass off, but you have a good time. You buy your chili dog. By the time you get to your seat, it's ice cold. That's what happens. But you still go have a good time. Why not have the same thing for MLS? You know, if you don't want to play through December in Colorado or fucking Montana, wherever, then just take a winter break like the Bundesliga does. And then just line up your schedule with the rest of the world. It just makes more sense if you want more eyes on you, especially like outside of the country of USA. Make it the same schedule as other big top 5 leagues around the world, especially if you're acting like you're trying to be one of those big leagues. Then copy the structure that works, the schedule that works. Number 4 thing wrong with MLS, this is a big one, okay? Number 4 for me is the most annoying, little picky thing, but it's my OCD bothering the crap out of me, and that is the way the league maps out their table, the league table. Let's take a look at it real quick. For mostly all other leagues around the world, you'll see the matches played first, wins, draw, losses, goals for, against, and the difference, and then of course points at the end. But if you go to the MLS website and see their standings, or even when you're watching the games and see their standings, it's the most annoying freaking thing, bro. I literally can't stand it. I can't even look at it. I have to Google the table, use Google table because it's better than the MLS table. Now the MLS lays it out like this. Points first instead of last. Points first. Points per game. Who gives a fuck about points per game, bro? Who cares? Put it at the end. Nobody wants to see that. Games played. Okay, I get it. Wins, losses, and then draws. Not even a draw. It's called tie. Because Americans don't know what a draw means, right? We do. Put a D in there. Give the D to MLS. Wait. It just makes no sense, okay? And then goals for, goals against, goal difference, and then home and away. who cares about home and away? Who cares? This makes no... I hate the way they try to Americanize a non-American sport. It just makes no sense. And I know that they want to do it the same way maybe like companies like baseball, NFL does, like the way they map out their tables. I don't know. But it's not it, man. It's really not it. Number 5 is the transfers and international slots. The way MLS works, like I said earlier with the salary cap, teams have a certain amount of money to spend. They can trade for this money. They can trade a player to earn this money, or they can trade like their draft spot, their draft pick to pick a player in the draft for some money instead, and then to buy a player across the seas. It makes no sense. And then when you have the money to buy players across the seas, you only have a certain amount of like 3 or 5 or something like that. Max international players you can have on your roster, first team roster. Why? Why the hell is there a cap? I think there should be a rule where you should have a certain amount of youth players promoted or like integrated in your team each season, and then have no cap on any like foreign player, international roster player. Like, why? Why have a cap? Why? It makes no sense. If you could have the money to pay a player to come here, you should have him play here with no restrictions. Here's your money. Please win us the fucking title. The end. Number 6 is a big one too for a lot of people. And that is, of course, overexpansion. The league is getting too big, and this kind of integrates with promotion relegation. Why are we having almost basically 30 teams in the whole league without promotion relegation? And who knows, maybe Don Garber wants to go up more than 29. He's going to probably go to 32 one day. I guarantee he will. 32 I can just see for MLS. It makes no sense. Like, why? Why? It's just the more players, the more teams you have within the league, the more money you got to allocate to all these other leagues. Brainstorm, if you only had maybe like 18 like the Bundesliga, you could have each team have more allocation money, like more of a salary to spend on other players, get rid of the international cap. They have more money to spend, buy more players, get more big name players here because they got the money to spend now. And other teams on the bottom fighting it out in the second division to get back to MLS top division to get that big money so they can sign big players just like every other freaking league. Overexpanding, no good. The last thing wrong with MLS is, of course, the playoff format. Now, this may not bother you, but this bothers me. Why do we keep expanding how many teams can make the playoffs? And basically, if you guys don't know what the playoffs means in MLS, if you're outside MLS, hi, how are you? Second of all, the playoffs is like all these teams battle each other out in like a big, I don't know, I'm going to say like battle, like a tournament style battle, and see who wins the title of the year. Like, instead of, can you imagine if you're watching La Liga and then the top 9 or 8 teams finish the season like that, top 8, top 9, and now they all got to battle each other to see who wins the title. It doesn't matter if Barca beat everybody all season. They win a little like award title for being number 1 in the league, but if you want to win the big title of MLS champion, you got to battle everybody else from 2nd to 9th place again in a tournament knockout style. It makes no sense, right? Doesn't that make that makes stupid sense? I get the playoffs is kind of like an American thing, but it's like integrated into a lot of American sports. But having basically 7 teams, that's 14 teams already, 7 from each conference, 14 teams, and then 8 and 9 in each conference battle each other out, I think, to become the 8th team. So basically you have 16 teams total battling each other out to win the MLS champion title. Does that make sense to you? The Bundesliga has about 18 teams battling out for the Bundesliga all season. So why are we depending on 16 teams right now? That should just be the league. That should be the league. With 16 teams, that's the league right there. 8 in each division. Let's 8 in each conference. Let's go battle out. Who's going to be the champion end of the season? And then have promotion relegation. Do you see how it makes no sense? Like how some of these games do not make sense or do not have any like worth. Like, okay, you lost this game, whatever, who cares? At least I'm still 8th place and can probably make it to the playoffs. Like, can you imagine wanting to get 9th or 8th place in the league? Can you imagine? And then you beat everybody by luck or on penalties and you win the title. Now you're champion. 9th place team wins the MLS championship. I think that's such a stupid thing. If you want to make it more enticing, make it the top 4 of each division. Make these teams want to work all season. But it's all about the money. They want to see all their teams playing in the playoffs every single season. But I'm telling you, top 4 teams in each division would be absolutely way better and more intense, and probably make more teams want to battle out and want to try harder, because instead of going to 9th place, they got to go all the way up to 4th place to make a playoff spot. Alright, I'm done ranting, guys. That was a lot, but I'm being serious. I love MLS, and I really want to see these 7 things change. Let me know what you guys would change down below for MLS. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thanks for kicking with me. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.